In a peaceful little town surrounded by green fields and narrow, dusty roads, there lived a young man named Ethan. He was intelligent and talented, but he had one terrible habit that slowly destroyed every opportunity in his life. Ethan was extremely lazy and always postponed his important work. Whenever his parents advised him to study seriously and value time, he would simply smile and say, "I still have plenty of time. I'll do it tomorrow." Instead of focusing on his future, he spent most of his day watching random videos, scrolling through social media, and wasting hours with friends. Because of his careless attitude, his marks in school became worse every year. His parents worried constantly about his future, but Ethan never understood the importance of discipline and hard work. As time passed, Ethan completed school with poor grades, while many of his classmates moved ahead confidently toward their dreams. Some students got admission into top colleges, while others started learning valuable skills for their future careers. Ethan also moved to the city for higher studies and promised himself that he would finally change his habits and become serious about life. However, the excitement of city life distracted him even more. He spent his evenings roaming around with friends, eating in cafes, and endlessly scrolling through reels on his phone. Every time he planned to study, he found another excuse to delay his work. Sometimes he told himself he would start after dinner, and sometimes he promised to begin the next morning. Days slowly turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, but Ethan's habits remained exactly the same. One evening, Ethan sat alone in his hostel room, staring at his exam results. His hands trembled as he looked at the marks. Almost everyone in his class had scored better than him. Some of his friends had already received internships and appreciation from professors, while Ethan once again stood far behind everyone else. For the first time in his life, he felt deeply disappointed in himself. He looked out of the window at the busy city lights and wondered why he always failed despite having dreams like everyone else. His mind became filled with regret and confusion. That night, he could not sleep peacefully because he realized he was slowly wasting his future with his own careless habits. The next morning, while walking through a nearby street, Ethan heard some people talking about an old wise man who lived near the edge of the town. People believed that the old man had helped many lost individuals find the right path in life. Desperate for guidance, Ethan decided to meet him. After walking for nearly an hour, Ethan reached a calm riverside area where a huge banyan tree stood beside flowing water. Under the tree sat an old man with closed eyes, peacefully meditating. The atmosphere around him felt calm and comforting. Ethan respectfully approached him and said, "Sir, I need your help. I feel like I'm failing in life. No matter how hard I try, I always remain behind others. Please guide me and tell me how I can become successful." The old man slowly opened his eyes and looked carefully at Ethan. His face reflected wisdom and peace. After remaining silent for a few moments, he softly asked, "Tell me honestly, do you value your time?" Ethan lowered his head because deep inside he already knew the answer. The old man gently smiled and said, "You are not failing because you lack intelligence. You are failing because you keep delaying your work and wasting valuable time. Most people lose their opportunities not because life is unfair, but because they do not understand the importance of time." Ethan listened carefully to every word. Then the old man said, "Let me tell you a story. If you truly understand its meaning, your entire life can change." The old man began his story and said, "Many years ago, there lived a kind-hearted king who ruled a rich and prosperous kingdom. He loved helping poor people and always looked for opportunities to improve their lives. One day, while traveling through his kingdom, the king met a poor man sitting sadly beside the road. The man constantly complained about his miserable life and blamed everyone else for his failures. He had no money, no job, and no respect in the society. The king noticed that the man was healthy and capable of working, yet he appeared lazy and careless. Feeling sympathy for him, the king decided to give him one life-changing opportunity that could completely transform his future. The king looked at the poor man and said, "Tomorrow before sunset, come to my royal palace. You may take as much gold and silver as you can carry." Everything you take will belong to you forever." Hearing this, the poor man became extremely excited and thanked the king repeatedly. He rushed back home and happily informed his wife about the wonderful opportunity. His wife became overjoyed and immediately said, "Then why are you standing here? Go quickly and bring back the treasure before it becomes too late." However, the lazy man casually replied, "Relax. There is still plenty of time before sunset. First, prepare some delicious food for me because I cannot travel on an empty stomach." His wife quickly prepared a large meal, and the man sat comfortably while eating slowly and peacefully. As he enjoyed his food, he kept thinking that the treasure was already guaranteed and there was no need to hurry. After finishing the meal, he stretched lazily and thought, "I should rest for a few minutes before leaving. The palace will still be there when I wake up." He lay down on his bed as cool air entered through the window. Within moments, he fell into a deep sleep. What he expected to be a short rest turned into several hours of sleep. When he finally woke up, sunlight was already beginning to fade, and panic immediately filled his heart. The man quickly grabbed some empty bags and rushed toward the royal palace as fast as he could. Sweat poured down his face while he hurried through the long road under the burning sun. After walking for some time, he became tired and noticed a huge shady tree beside the road. He thought to himself, "I should rest here for a few minutes and continue afterward." The cool breeze under the tree felt relaxing, and once again his eyes slowly closed. Before realizing it, he had fallen asleep for the second time that day. When he finally woke up, the sky had turned orange, and the sun was dangerously close to setting. Fear and regret rushed through his heart as he understood how much precious time he had wasted. The man immediately picked up his bags and began running desperately toward the royal palace. His breathing became heavy and his legs trembled with exhaustion, but he continued running with all his remaining strength. Finally, he saw the giant palace gates standing in the distance. Hope returned to his heart and he ran even faster. However, just as he reached the palace entrance, the sun disappeared below the horizon. The large palace gates slowly closed before his eyes. The guard stopped him and said, "You are too late. The king's offer ended at sunset." Hearing these words, the man collapsed onto the ground in heartbreak. He begged the guards to allow him inside, but nothing could change the situation now. He had lost a life-changing opportunity simply because he failed to understand the value of time. The old man finished the story and quietly looked at Ethan. For several moments, Ethan remained silent because he felt as though the story perfectly described his own life. He realized that, just like the lazy man, he had also wasted countless opportunities while believing there would always be more time later. Tears slowly appeared in his eyes as he whispered, "I understand now. I have been destroying my own future by delaying everything important." The old man nodded gently and said, "Time is the most valuable treasure in life. Lost money can be earned again, but lost time never returns. Successful people are not always the smartest people. They are simply the ones who use their time wisely." Those words deeply touched Ethan's heart. He respectfully thanked the old man and returned home with a completely changed mindset. That very day, Ethan decided to take control of his life. He removed distractions from his daily routine, created a proper study schedule, and began using every hour productively. At first, changing his habits felt difficult because laziness constantly tried to pull him back into his old lifestyle. However, whenever he felt like wasting time again, he remembered the story of the poor man who lost the treasure because of procrastination. Slowly, Ethan became more disciplined, focused, and hardworking than ever before. Months passed, and people around Ethan began noticing a huge difference in his behavior. He started waking up early every morning, attending classes sincerely, and completing every assignment on time. Instead of wasting hours on meaningless distractions, he focused on improving himself little by little every day. His grades improved dramatically, and professors started praising his dedication and discipline. The same friends who once moved ahead of him were now surprised by his incredible progress. For the first time in many years, Ethan finally felt proud of himself because he understood that success is not achieved overnight, but built slowly through discipline, consistency, and wise use of time. One evening, Ethan stood outside his college building, watching the beautiful sunset spread across the sky. A gentle smile appeared on his face as he remembered the old man's words near the riverside tree. At that moment, he realized that every successful person values time more than comfort. Dreams never become reality through excuses and procrastination. They become reality only through action, discipline, and continuous effort. Ethan finally understood that the future is created by the small decisions people make every single day. Every wasted hour takes people further away from their goals, while every productive hour brings them closer to success. This story teaches us one of the most important lessons of life. Time is the greatest treasure every human being receives, but sadly, many people waste it carelessly on meaningless distractions. Opportunities do not wait forever, and once time passes, it never returns. Many people spend their entire lives saying, "I will start tomorrow," but tomorrow often becomes too late. Success belongs to those who take action today instead of waiting for the perfect moment. Therefore, never delay your dreams, never waste your valuable time, and never allow laziness to control your future. Use every moment wisely, stay focused on your goals, and remember that the decisions you make today will shape the life you live tomorrow.